Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. Today we will design a necklace with Sam's Bead box subscription for the month of January 2022. I have pulled out these amazing gemstone and this faceted check glass 6mm metallic bead right here. These all came in the box, and also these oval beads and some check glass beads I have left over after the bracelet project that I did recently. So I have this ring. It's a double-sided. It has different patterns on each side. I want to use this ring to connect all of these together. I'll show you guys how I'm going to do that. But for stringing, I'm using the 19 strand bead long bead stringing wire, 0.08 inch, and I need some crimp tubes as well, and we need clasp as well. So we shall decide the clasp later because I just want to make sure that I have everything. I will probably have a simple clasp at the end because the main focus is going to be the front part of the necklace, and it's going to be a bulky one. So I would add some chain in the back for adjustment for length, and I would probably add a lobster claw clasp. So let's just start stringing the pattern and seeing if we like it. First of all, I would just open the bead stringing wire. I will not cut it. As you can see, I'm not gonna cut it, and then I'm gonna pull some spacer beads. So I'm gonna do one strand on one side and 3 strands on the other. That's what my plan is. So the one strand is going to be with this beautiful oval beads, very nice milky pink color. So I'm gonna string that first. So first of all, this is going to have a connection here. I'll start with the metallic bead. And see if I like it. I really like it. So, and also I have some daisy spacers. If you want to include daisy spacer, you can include that as well. So I'm going heavy on these things right here on the other side on the single strand, and for the 3 strand I'm not going to go ahead and add spacer beads, only on this side. It's just how I prefer, doesn't have to be how you want. I'm checking out whether it looks good or not. So I'm just checking which one is pretty good. Yeah, I need to add a spacer bead here. The daisy spacers are pretty much the staple. You will not go wrong with the daisy spacers at all. So if you have that in stash, you can actually just randomly add it everywhere, whichever way you want, right? So I kind of like this style, so this is what I'm going to go for. So one daisy spacer and one of this spiral charm. So here, as you can see, it's opposite, so I'm just going to follow that. So if you pay attention to these small details, your finished product will come really pretty. So you can string all 7 or just 5, and then save the 2 for the earrings. I wouldn't worry about the earrings right now. This is a statement piece. You can even wear without a earpiece. It will look really pretty. All I want to do is to add enough beads in the side. So I'm just going to continue with my beads and add the 2 more also. That will give us enough length. There we go. Let me just measure this quickly. So this is about, say, 8¼ inch or so. So I am happy with this size. So that's one side of the necklace. What you can do is you can string everything and then finally cut it and then add the bead stoppers. So that way you don't have to worry about the bead stoppers right now. Or you can cut it and then add the bead stopper. It's totally up to you. I would like to work with the spool, so I will just move this strand over here. I have done everything properly. And then at the end I would start the next strand. These are some of the seed beads that I pulled out of my stash, which I would like to work with this pink color. I don't want too much attraction. At the same time, I want to be a neutral color, neutral pink for all of these. So that being said, I take this, cut this off, and this strand as well. So this strand, I want it to be a middle strand, and then the pink to be 2 strands. I don't know if it will be I will have enough to do it, but that's what my intention is. So here we go, and I'm gonna add this bead with some spacers. You can add a metallic spacers. I wouldn't want a metallic spacer. I would rather go with the seed bead spacers, like seed beads in between. That look like knots and still not take away the focus from the gemstone. That's what I think, but it's totally up to you. I will string these beads and then come back. So I went ahead and strung these beads as well, and adding seed beads in between all through, and everything is in one single big line. You can actually connect this and then crimp it and then call it a day and wear it as a long necklace, but we have different plans. So here is my finding, and what I'm gonna do is first, since this is our strand which is available, I'm just going to measure these, because this needs to come like a 3 strand like that, right? So that needs to come like this. So I'm going to go ahead, add some seed beads, pour some seed beads for myself, and then add some seed beads, because I don't want just so if I can go back, I'm just checking if I can go back through the seed bead twice, which I'm not able to. So what I will do is take some crumb tubes, we don't need that much, but obviously I just put some. So take a crumb tube, okay, drop it down next to the crystal, and then take some seed beads. Doesn't matter how many seed beads, I want a seed bead ring around this ring. So that's what I'm aiming for, but it should not be tight. I want it to be rather loose. So that it's flexible and moves around the ring nicely without any problems. So, and I want to count this because we need to know how much. So if you go around it, this much space is good enough, but I want to count how much I'm adding. 5, and that's again 5, 10, and that's again 5, 15, 15 plus 6, 16 beads. Okay, so go through the ring and come back through just the crumb tube and the check glass bead, 6mm bead, and bring everything down here. By now you must have understood why I have this, and you check if this ring is big or small. I think this is kind of big for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove some of the seed beads. Not a lot, but at least 6 of them I will remove. Yes, so 10 seed beads is all I'm adding. And check now how it is. This kind of looks good to me. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is take my you don't want this to be fairly tight, but reasonably tight. Go ahead and crimp it. Make sure you don't crimp any seed beads, otherwise you will break them. So I did crimp it, and I don't want any crimped or so there. So now what I will do is I will just cut the excess wire after the check glass bead, because the 2 strands are not going properly in my seed beads, so that's why I'm doing that. And then bring all my seed beads down. I saved just 2 of these 6mm check glass rock beads for the earrings. So here we go. So we have this much distance. Now I'm going to snip off here, leaving sufficient tail for me to actually crimp. Take a stopper, bead stopper. You can use any bead stopper you have available. I'm using this. I did manage to make one strand. Okay, now we have to make the next one. For that, I will do the same. So this time I know exactly how many seed beads I'm going to have. So I am going to take a crimp tube, add a crimp tube to this, and then some seed beads. 2, so the 10 seed beads is all I'm going to add. I'm going to keep that consistent and go through this ring again. You can do it both ways, but I just want to do it in one single direction for everything. So here, come back through the crimp tube. You can use a crimp bead as well and push everything towards the side. So now you check. See this? Something wrong with this. This is way too short and this is way too big. Let me count. So I don't know how many beads I added here. Maybe there was more. Yes, 5 and 10 and 15 beads. So that's my bad. I thought it's just 10 beads, which it is not. I just count one more time just to make sure I have 10. See, I don't even have 10. I have only 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Okay, then go through this. Come back through the crimp tube and a gemstone if possible, and push everything now and check if these two are fine. These two are pretty good. Now go ahead and crimp this with your pliers. I'm just flat crimping it, and then cut this excess short tail off. Now we have attached the next strand. So I shall keep it like this so that it's easier for us to move all the beads right here. So make sure it goes above on top. So this has to come this much. So we need this many beads, and I need to check if these ones will be enough for the inner circle. I hope so. So what I'm going to do, go ahead and do is cut myself this much length first. And then put a bead stopper there. Then take the next strand, get myself some more from the spool so that I have enough distance to work with. Again, take a crimp tube and then 15 seed beads. For some reason these seed beads are not going into this. Maybe I'm cutting it with the wrong pair of maybe this one is smooth. There we go, 15 seed beads, but make sure you have 15. That's a 5, yes. And now you can come through this ring, and so I have the 15 beads. I'm adding it to the ring and then coming back through just the crimp bead and the gemstone, and then put it all the way down. Check everything. Thing seems to be fine. Go ahead and crimp it with your pliers right there. Now I shall snip off the excess one. Take all of this down here. Now we need to check the moment of truth. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, now what I will do is I'll take my scissors because that works best and snip that off, and I still have this strand to be attached to, which I will put it over there. Now I know these things are kind of in the way. I shall move it. Then I'll take one bead stopper and put it over there. So that's kind of correct, right? So now what I'll just put it right there. Now I want this to be attached here. I don't want any seed beads here. I want only seed beads on the other side. So what I will do is I'll take the crimp tube, put it over here, and I can even put a daisy spacer, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, that kind of looks good. And then a crimp tube, and then come back through this, then go back through the crimp tube, the daisy spacer, and the big oval bead if possible. So see this, the daisy spacer goes on top of the crimp tube very well. So just push that down, take a little bit more wire. There we go. So once you're happy with, because you don't want a very firm thing, right? You don't want this loop to be way too tight, so just making sure that it's not tight and then just crimping there. And this daisy spacer just kind of sits on top. I'm just going to take my crimping pliers and just crimp this a little bit so that it just becomes an oval, and then the daisy spacer freely goes now on top. See this? So I'm going to crimp these with the crimping pliers rather than the flat crimp. That will allow the daisy spacer to go inside. So here we go. I am using the second hole and then I'm crimping first. Okay. Then I'm taking the first crimp. Now this crimping tube is not working for the crimping pliers. Only the bead alone crimps is much better with this. What's happening is when I do with the bottom hole, it doesn't give that bean shaped look. It gives an oval one, which is not good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and flat crimp this. I'm just going to take this crimp off. Try another crimp. This is a smaller crimp. It just flew away. Okay. Come back here. Now it's safe and secure. Just go through everything. This is how it looks. So I still have to finish this, but let this be here. We still need only one crimp tubes and the rest can all go inside. There we go. And I'm going to finish this side and then come back to this side. I have picked up a closed jump ring and a lobster claw clasp and some chain for adjustment. So that's that. First let me fix this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dash from the middle to the outside one. That's what I'm gonna do. It has to come like this anyways. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to see, for example, if we keep this like this and this is going to be like this and this is going to be the strand. Just want to know how long this one is. It's about, say, 9.5 to 10 inches. I'm going to do the outside one first, or the inside one first. So this has to anyways come like this. It might be one bead more here. So it all depends upon how this actually stays around your neck, is what the question is. So the other side, just insert this here. Use your pliers push this crimp bead down and then push this to make this nice and tight. Still there's a large gap, as you can see, and now I shall go ahead and crimp it and snip off this excess wire. Actually, mostly our necklace is done. This is how I want the necklace to look like. So, but now the question is, how do we attach these? So I need this chain. This is a nice roller chain, as you can see, nice and thick, and I'm just going to see if it has an opening. If it does, then you don't need any jump ring to open and close. You just open this up, which it does. So all you need to do is open this up nice and wide. Actually nice and wide. Let me see if it goes through. If not, a little bit more. And join to this closed jump ring. And then I would say about 3 inches. That's more than enough. Or 2.5 inches. Yeah, about 2.5 inches is more than enough. Then you can snip it off, or you can remove it how we did it. You can do either way. So that's that. So we have still this chain left. You can connect a couple of jump rings to that chain if you want to do that, or you can just connect it here and then leave that as an extension. Either way it's fine. It will look really nice. And this is our necklace. This is a simple version of this. If you want to actually decorate this ring, you can do more, but this itself looks really good to me. I really like it. I hope you guys like it too. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos almost like couple of videos a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day and bye.